That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Kiki here.
And Mickeyfan.
And oh, hey, look, some good news in the middle of a terrible year. Disney's actually opened an attraction. Can you believe that, Mickeyfan? It feels weird saying that. Disney has opened an attraction
In 2020,
in
yeah,
2020. Yeah. Of course, we were talking about the enchanted tale of Beauty and the Beast. Mickeyfan, why does it have to be so wordy?
because it's Disney in 2020.
Fair enough. But so Mickeyfan, of course, this is at Tokyo Disneyland. It just I believe it's still in soft opening phases,
Yes,
correct?
first day of soft openings.
First day of soft openings, and the YouTuber known as Disney File has become the one and only person on the internet to obtain a full ride through of this thing. And Mickeyfan, you know what? I've got a full thesis in mind for what I want to say about this before we get into the scene by scene recap. And by the way, folks, just letting you know, full tilt spoilers ahead. Woot woot! The spoiler train is afloat. Just get off if you don't want spoilers.
Chugga chugga choo choo, bitches.
All right, so Mickeyfan, what's your overall thesis on this thing?
It is. I have so many thoughts about this, but to put it succinctly, it is what you. It is the perfect encapsulation of Beauty and the Beast as a film, as a story, as all of that. Obviously shortened into 8 minutes, but it's just that perfect encapsulation of what makes that film so special.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh my god, mine's gonna be so much longer. Oh my god.
No. We'll get into it. I'll get into it, but that's my thesis.
So I think this is a super intriguing ride. And of course, we I was actually at the Polynesian resort having a drink at Trader Sam's when that first footage of the animatronics being worked on dropped.
The bell!
Yeah. So I remember I've been hyped about this, from the get-go, and I was at Disney World when it dropped. So pretty cool in that regard to be following the progress. Having said that, I had no idea it was this close to actually opening.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, yeah, here we are with a new attraction. Mickeyfan, I think that this is it's fascinating. It's fascinating in terms of the structure. So my overall impression of this is I don't know. I'd honestly have to write it in person to really see how I feel about it. But and this is where we're getting really heavy into spoilers here, people. So again, jump off if you're not ready for those. Basically, with this ride, instead of doing the standard dark ride scene of okay, here's like 7, 8, 9, 10 scenes, and they're all short. They're all kind of like doing a book report kind of style of the ride. Basically, what we get here is essentially 4 giant arenas.
I wouldn't even call them arenas.
I mean, they're huge show scenes, though. I mean, arena may not be the right word, but that's the only. But I use arena in the sense of like Indiana Jones at Disneyland. It has like that arena, you know what I mean? Where there's a lot of shit going on in one enclosed space.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, I think that what's so interesting is the trackless shenanigans that go on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it when we get there, but the something there scene would just be fascinating to view outside of the ride vehicle.
Right. So I mean, I just think that this is like maybe it's funny because we did lose the 2 traveling theater shows earlier in the decade with with the loss of the Great Movie Ride and Ellen's Energy Adventure, R.I.P. Ellen, am I right? Anyways, timely joke there. But this is like the next evolution to me of the concept of a traveling theater.
Okay.
This thing is like Carousel of Progress or American Sings on steroids, Mickey fan. That's how I feel about it. I feel like this isn't even a fucking proper dark ride, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. Um, I think the pace of this is really interesting and honestly kind of a little bit off in some respects, just
Oh, yeah.
because when I'm used to a dark ride, I'm used to just transitioning from scene to scene to scene, being like a going at a really quick pace with the scene transitions. And this is just we're just living in these worlds and these moments. And really just getting a chance to soak in the atmosphere and the scene changes and transitionings happening all around you. And I do think that as much as Rise of the Resistance was a game changer as far as technology goes, and I would say Rise of the Resistance, I would say it does more impressive things from a ride system point of view and from a scale point of view than this thing does. But this definitely has better animatronics. I mean, come on now. We've all seen that John Boyega animatronic. It's not very flattering.
No.
And and B, I really think this thing is a game changer for better or for worse in the way that Disney tells stories via attractions, much in the same way that it's so interesting, Mickey fan, because I feel like this is almost like it's very much a counterbalance to Rise of the Resistance. Whereas Rise of the Resistance, to me, I am honestly one of the bigger critics of Rise of the Resistance. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a groundbreaking ride, to be sure. But my big thing with Rise of the Resistance is that it handholds you, man. Like like the ride is great and it's a thrilling experience and it's an immersive experience, to be sure, but it handholds you through the story. It leaves very little up to the imagination. And to me, as an old school Disney park fan, and this is me maybe showing my age here, but I love attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion, specifically because I would even lump stuff like Big Thunder into this equation, because you can go on those rides an endless number of times and literally come out with an entirely different storyline every time. It's just the way those rides are designed. And while I don't think that Beauty and the Beast is necessarily like a Pirates level, like, oh my God, it's just this this Rubik's Cube of attraction storytelling that you just have to put together, I definitely think that Beauty and the Beast leaves more up to the imagination than Rise of the Resistance does, if that makes any sense. It really lets you form your experience, your personalized take on what's going on. Does that make any sense?
Yes. I
Like,
mean, I have yet to go on Rise of the Resistance.
have you seen Ride Through?
No.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm glad I did. Spoiler alert, there's a John Boyega animatronic, Mickey fan. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
But anyways, I won't say anything more about Rise of the Resistance. You should have warned me more about that. I knew you hadn't been on it yet, but I didn't know you were avoiding spoilers for it.
I mean, I'm passively avoiding spoilers.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyways, so yeah, I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments regarding this. My whole theory of the traveling theater thing. And I mean, Rise of the Resistance, Mickey fan, without giving away spoilers for it, obviously it is very much kind of like the story is what drives that attraction. You very much are just like experiencing a Star Wars narrative. And the cool thing about that attraction is it does put you, it very much is like an active participant sort of thing where you're almost living out like a Star Wars role-playing game in a certain respect with how the cast members interact with you. But Beauty and the Beast, what I like about Beauty and the Beast, like I said, is that it just, I don't know, man, there's something about an attraction for me where you just get to marinate in the atmosphere and just soak in it. And I feel like this might be the ultimate atmosphere marination that Disney's ever done, if you get my drift.
Yeah. Well, and I like that you bring that up because That's what I mean when I said it's just the perfect encapsulation of the movie.
Sure.
It just kind of injects you into that world for a few minutes, and like and no, it lets you be part of that action with Be Our Guest and Something There and the big battle scene. And I just love, no, it it's just that perfect little taste of what it would be like to be in the world of Beauty and the Beast, which
Hmm.
I don't think enough can be said for just how atmospheric that movie is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like it's just that perfect atmosphere attraction, like you just said.
And like I said, I think the like with a big emphasis on thrills and IP, and kind of like putting people into like very specific environments. I mean, I like that this attraction is a little bit more interpretive.
Yeah.
All right. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and switch over to said Disney Files video that's kind of sweeping the internet. And I'm not going to necessarily play it like frame by frame, but I'm going to go kind of kind of hit on the important beats here. Let's hope that full screen
Let's
works.
talk about this pre-show real quick.
Yeah, no, of course. We'll definitely talk about the pre-show.
No, of course you're in there and I think that they do this for Tower of Terror too, but the stained glass.
Mm-hmm.
Like
No, the stained glass is definitely a fixture of the projection mapping at this point.
oh yeah.
I mean, Disney has pretty much mastered projection mapping.
I can't disagree with that. I think nails right on the head there. Yeah.
But just I mean, just the size of this pre-show room. I mean, look at it. It looks like practically like a whole attraction scene in its own right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a whole pirate scale attraction scene.
And like when you get into it, and I had to watch it a couple times, but like during the pre-show you have the Rose and you have Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Belle walking in. You have that amazing Belle walking animatronic.
Which you would have guessed that the Belle walking animatronic would have been in the freaking pre-show.
No!
Right?
I thought I was, if anything, I was expecting it to be like one of the first scenes of the attraction. But I was not expecting it to be like pre-show.
So yeah, as we're seeing here, very good. And Mickeyfan, if you could just keep an eye out to see if we have any comments. I don't know if people are watching along to comment or not, but just keep an eye on it if you will, because I've got my full screen on here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to find the actual Belle animatronic. I'm trying to click around here. There we go. There she is. Not very high quality, folks. I apologize. I very much anticipate better quality footage of this ride becoming available eventually. But
we might have to do a sequel to this.
Maybe.
Oh no! What little you can see of her, look at her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just the fluid animation, and then of course the beast coming in, and the scale of that beast animatronic. I mean, God, this is
beautiful.
Yeah.
I like when they first showed the beast animatronic, my first thought was Harry Baby.
Right.
No joke. It was look at the Harry Baby, because I mean that's what the beast is.
Yeah. All right. So good use of social distancing, and oh, holy shit!
What, you didn't see that the first time?
Oh my God, hold on. Oh my God. I was just casually like watching I was like, oh, nice social distancing on the plexiglass. And I was like, oh my God, beast shadow. Monkey, if you happen to be watching this right now, that was basically like a sequel to my moment reacting to Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty's castle at Disneyland, the shadow of Maleficent. Just like, casually walking around and then just like, oh my God, shadow. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Oh man, that's a great build up. Okay. But no, seriously, I am very impressed with the social distancing that we see at place here, with the plexiglass and everything. And I like that it's non-intrusive. And the ride vehicles seem very spaced out, and the queue seems I don't know, I'm talking about the not fun stuff here, but just it just does look genuinely like pretty inviting.
We live in such a moment of time.
I know. All right. Okay, so what do you think of this boarding area? To me, I kind of like the fact that it's not in your face.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the kitchen.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Because of the stove.
And because Be Our Guest is right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Which, like, really cool build up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then, like, yeah, like you said, I like that it's not super in your face.
We get the fantastical elements, but it's not like a huge build-up. It's not like a huge like, okay, and now we're suddenly in this fantastical world.
And one thing I really like about this that you don't really think of is that it uses the massive amount of space you need for a trackless ride to load. Mm-hmm. So well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, that's another thing about this ride is like, oh my God, with Rise of the Resistance, Mickeyfan, you're looking at 2, maybe 3 ride vehicles in the same room at the same time. This is just unprecedented. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the traveling theater setup. I mean, just like I can't say that it's the most comfortable from a social distancing point of view, but seriously though, just the amount of different ride vehicles in each individual scene to me is just staggering.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it bugs the fuck out of me with this little kid. It's just put your goddamn mask on.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like, he just goes right into the attraction without his mask in this video. Just wait for it. Wait, actually, I think okay, hold on. Now we're playing a little bit of detective right now, just to shame this kid. I hope this kid becomes a meme for not wearing your mask. So we saw him with his mask on, and then we're going to see him. Wait for it. Hold on. Mask off! Mask off! I'm just being silly right now, but seriously, it bugs me, Mickeyfan. It bugs me.
I understand.
Especially because the cast member's standing right there, and they just let him go straight into the attraction.
Yeah.
Look at him. I'm sorry, Mickeyfan. I want this to become a meme. I want this kid to become a meme.
Just like directly into the camera.
Yes, he does. Yes. Hold on. Let me try and get a freeze frame of it. Oh God. Hold on. He's waving to the cast member. Oh dear God. Oh, this is a crazy time we're living in, folks. Okay, wait. Hold on. There, right there.
Yes.
Right there. Right the fuck there. Oh my God. Wear a mask, kids. Wear a mask.
Right. Wear a mask or get shamed by 2 grown-ass men on the internet.
Oh dear. Oh God. But I love the fact that the load. So basically, like, let me see how I understand how the loading area works. So essentially, you walk in, and I'm pretty sure what happens is there's two loading platforms, one on the left, and one on the right.
So it's L-shaped.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is how Ratatouille is set up as well.
Okay.
From what I could make out from this video, but Ratatouille is set up the same way, where you have this L-shaped loading area, and then when you're getting ready to go into the actual attraction, all of them move up, and then the doors open,
that's so cool.
and then you go straight into it.
That's fucking cool. I also love the fact that the attraction starts with a dinner bell.
Oh yeah,
that's just a great touch.
It is.
All right, and here we go, Mickeyfan. Here we goddamn go. Okay, the Pepper's Ghost stuff in this room is just incredible. It's just unbelievable. I can't even. Right.
The Lumiere.
And folks, again, I apologize for the poor video quality. It's the best we can get right now.
We'll have to do another one next week. I think it opens next week.
Maybe.
September 28th. Yes.
All right. So just every time you pass this table, more stuff appears on it.
It's like, I don't know if it's Pepper's Ghost or if it's really well hidden trap doors or
right. If it is all Pepper's Ghost, then I honestly think this is a bold statement to make here, so watch out. I honestly think this might be a contender for the single most impressive use of Pepper's Ghost ever, which is a title that ironically has long since belonged to another dinner table scene, the Haunted Mansion Ballroom.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, I mean, like with the Haunted Mansion Ballroom, I feel like we know how it works. The impressive thing is how many of them there are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With this, I legitimately don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, I said I wasn't gonna skip around, but I really just want to soak in this, man.
Yeah. And then like you have this really fun little interlude with the plates.
So basically, here's what I'm trying to get with the technology here. Do all the vehicles kind of turn around and face away from the table, and that's how the switch is done?
I think so.
Okay. So like, I swear to God, Mickeyfan, if I ever get a chance to go on this ride, my guy, I'm gonna fucking
turn around, trying to see if I can make out what's going on.
I don't give a shit about the projection map plates, Mickeyfan. As a matter of fact, I want someone on the internet to film this ride and point away from the plates when the plates happen.
Yeah.
Assuming that that's how they hide the transition.
Yeah. For all we know, that this is a fake out.
God, look at that.
Like, seriously, how? How?
I mean, it's not an entirely different room, is it? It's the same room.
It has to be the same room.
I love it, Mickeyfan. We're two Disney nerds in 2020 who just obsess over this sort of technology, and we're stumped. Right, but it gets even more crazy, doesn't it? Okay, so basically, Mickeyfan, if I'm willing to guess, I think there might be trap doors.
It's either trap doors or they come in from the ceiling.
Oh, that might be, yeah. Oh man, so cool. All right, Mickeyfan. So now we're getting into something more.
Yeah,
something's there that wasn't there before. I'm sorry. Now, personally, to me, this is a slow point of the attraction. Can you tell me why it specifically strikes you so much?
Well, because this is the moment where Belle and Beast are realizing, I'm like, don't just like them. I think I'm falling in love with them.
Uh-huh.
And like, I think that something about this scene, the way it's staged, because you
So it's
have
not necessarily the technology, it's more it hits you on an emotional
it
level.
hits you on an emotional level,
Gotcha.
but there's some trackless shenanigans that go on
There
here
are some trackless shenanigans for sure.
that are just it's just this really cool little ballet that the
Uh-huh.
right vehicles
Uh-huh.
do.
Because to me, I feel like technically this
Like
is probably
right
right.
here, this is what I'm talking about.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I just
Uh,
feel like visually this might be the least interesting scene.
I agree with you. Visually, it is kind of the least interesting, but it works.
But I get you in terms of just the emotion of it, the marinating in the atmosphere. It is a very important note to hit. And you know what? I also think works is like it brings you to a high, and that high is going to get broken by the kill the beast sequence.
Yeah,
So I feel like on an emotional level, like from a storytelling point of view, it is important that we do kind of drag this moment out and just kind of soak in it.
yeah, and like I love that they
Oh, and
went
by
to
the way, I'm pretty
effort.
sure this is the attraction going into B mode for a second.
I think it is.
They
But
stalled on this a little too long.
I love that like they still have like the characters animated if it
Uh-huh. I experienced that with on Runaway Railway at the very end. It went into B mode, and it was actually really cool because it was like kind of like an idle video game animation or something.
yeah. And then you have the
This might be my favorite moment.
I love that they did not go full in on the Beauty and the Beast.
I do
They
too, and that's exactly
saved it
why I
for
think this moment strikes out to me so much.
they saved it for the finale, but you still get that moment of, oh, they're falling in love. This no, these crazy kids are falling in love,
And I
and
also like that this specific view, I mean, like it's certainly in the movie, but it's not like an iconic shot that's in every Disney parade and every
yeah.
fireworks show. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get
Like I
exactly what
feel like it's a distinct enough shot that it visually, like as we saw it, they use it for the poster image, and I feel like it defines this attraction.
Yes, I like how you put that because I do think that this is kind of the perfect this is kind of the perfect moment of this is that attraction.
Mhm.
It's not straightforward. It's
This show,
very
this ride is like what fucking Frozen Ever After should have been.
yeah.
This ride kind of puts Frozen Ever After to shame a little bit, and I love Frozen Ever After.
Yeah, Frozen Ever After is so much fun.
Frozen Ever After was a grower for me because I didn't necessarily really like it that much my first time, but then after more times going on it, I'm like, this is actually really well done.
It's so charming.
But this is another level.
Yeah, this has all the charm of a typical
Oh
fantasy.
God, that shooting star.
Oh my god,
Iconic,
yes.
iconic Disney attraction moment right there. And when I say Disney attraction moment, I mean attraction moment. They really milk that. And Mickeyfan, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like this is like old school Imagineering here, where they craft a moment that isn't just regurgitating something we've seen 1,000 times in the movie. You know what I mean? Like this is special to the attraction, I think.
Oh yeah, I think that again, this moment is
And then look at the nuzzle. Look at the nuzzle. Oh my god. Feels, man. And then immediately afterwards.
you go straight into Kill the Beast, which I mean that's basically what happens in the movie too,
Uh-huh.
but like yeah, you go straight into Kill the Beast and then honestly this scene is probably my favorite of the entire ride.
This is gonna be the iconic scene, I think. I mean, this
Oh
is
yeah.
like as much as I love the iconography of the balcony moment, this is the true like wow moment. This is why people are going to buy a plane ticket to Tokyo specifically for this attraction.
Really cool use of projection mapping.
You know, the
Awesome.
one thing that bugs me about it is that the Beast's robe kind of like wraps him like a baby blanket a little bit.
That's what it does in the movie.
I know it does, but still, I
Doesn't
don't
work
know.
in 3D, but yes.
I feel, yeah, I feel like it would be a little bit more impactful if you saw more of his body.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's still super impressive. Don't get
It
me
is.
wrong.
They're
Just the fact
look
that
at it.
he appears from like physically like within the Beast animatronic itself.
It's
I mean,
just it's just so impressive and it's so well done.
and so this is a perfect finale too. Just
Yeah.
a great use of projection mapping, showing the castle coming alive. You know, a great kind of penultimate happy ending scene here.
Yeah.
And then
And like
and then
it's the perfect length.
mhm.
It is just the perfect length of it's no you it's the perfect amount of time where it's built up but it doesn't take too long.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And let's talk
And
about
I
these
mean,
dancing animatronics.
right? I mean, I feel like if this scene alone was just like, you know, like a Luigi's Rollicking Roadster style flat ride, it would be like one of the best Disney flat rides ever made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And obviously the sound is not on right now, but the arrangement of Beauty and the Beast they use here is just amazing.
And the scale of the room.
Scale of the room. You thought Be Our Guest translated the ballroom to live action? No. This translated the ballroom to live
Oh
action.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. I mean, you know, folks, I hate to come across like, you know, just a sheer Disney fanboy here. But like I said, I mean, I don't. This isn't like a better attraction than Rise of the Resistance, and of course, I probably like if I was a betting man, Mickey fan, I would say that I'm probably never going to get to do this in person. I mean, I wish I could say that I'm going to get to Tokyo, but honestly, the plane ride alone kind of terrifies me. But yeah, I don't know. I just think there's something about the way that you just kind of get to soak in the atmosphere of this attraction. I don't mean to sound like a broken record here, but it really is just you know, just kind of like a very meditative experience in a
Yeah.
way.
Like like I keep saying, it's not a book report of the movie. You
Hmm.
get those scenes from the movie, but like it's more of a just encapsulate the atmosphere and
What
the
happens when Disney's advertising gets a little wild? Sorry, that was a random thumbnail to come upon.
um it's just that atmosphere of it and the just beauty of it. Like
Okay, Mickey fan, you have failed me.
I failed you.
Yeah, because I told you to keep an eye on the comments.
Oh, I
All
I got worked up.
right, so I'm gonna go through the comments here. Um, do you think Rise of the Resistance is still better? Hi there, Chase Carroll. Nice to see you. Um, Chase, that's a very hard question because I think Rise of the Resistance is like a storytelling marvel. You know what I mean? It very much is this kind of like huge live action role playing, like avant garde sort of like there's never been an attraction like it. And, you know, the actual ride within it is without question the most technologically advanced ride system I've ever seen. But with Beauty and the Beast, I definitely just love the atmosphere and I love the, you know, the animatronics. I'm a sucker for good animatronics. I certainly think this has more impressive animatronics than Rise of the Resistance does. Although Rise of the Resistance isn't really an animatronics based ride, but still. So yeah, I definitely I mean, as of now, I would say it's a little neck and neck, but I would maybe edge this one out just a little bit, just based on my personal preference. Like I keep saying, I'm an old school Imagineering guy, and this kind of hits the old school Imagineering sensibilities for me a bit more than Rise does. All right. Then Disney Lost Boys and Girls says definitely gives Frozen Ever After a run for its money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the money has been stolen. I think we're well past giving it a run for its money. It's
No, Beauty and the Beast just kind of kneecapped Frozen and took all of its money.
I feel like Beauty and the Beast almost kind of single-handedly degrades Frozen Ever After from an E ticket to a D ticket just by mere comparison.
I mean, bold statement calling it an E ticket, but okay.
Well, I think it's an E ticket just based on the park that it's in.
That's fair.
All right. Anyway, so let's see.
How the transformation scene was done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's Pepper's Ghost, but it's such an impressive Pepper's Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Chase Carroll says, "Is Rise still the greatest attraction of all time?" Chase, again, I'm an old school Imagineer, so I'm just gonna say old school Imagineering fan, not old school Imagineer. I worked back in Walt's day. Me and Bob Gurr and Rolly Crump rubbed circles with each other. But Chase, I'm very old school in terms of Imagineering, so I still think the greatest attractions of all time is like basically a tie between Mansion and Pirates. I know that's a boring answer, but it's just, to me, no other attractions in theme park history have come close to just how much imagination, like how freeform both of those narratives are, how you can kind of craft your own story to go along with those attractions. So yeah, I definitely for me, I think that Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean still kind of like outrank Rise, but I don't know. We'll see like 50 years down the line if Rise is still kicking. We'll see, because my big question with Rise is how much of a replay value it's going to have. Some people have said that they've been on Rise multiple times and it gets better every time, but to me, because Rise has such a cut and dry narrative to it, I don't know. That's my question with it. Let's see. Oh, yes, the Walters look like a descendant of Ben Franklin tech. Absolutely.
Same with Belle in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, they look like Ben Franklin tech from American Adventure.
Oh, okay. I like this question. How does it compare to Runaway Railway? Rank all the trackless rides.
This one I can answer.
Okay.
And
Wait, you've been on Runaway Railway, but you haven't been on Rise?
Yeah. Shut up.
Because you're a cast member. I understand because of the cast member thing. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I really think that Runaway Railway is great, but this just blows everything out of the water.
I would say this is number one. Rise is probably number two. In terms of how I would compare, I think this is a better comparison for Runaway Railway than Rise of the Resistance is, because I just think Rise of the Resistance is just something entirely different. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I honestly, in terms of trackless dark rides, from what I've seen, I would rank Ratatouille at the bottom, just because that uses the most screens. And honestly, I would place Pooh's Honey Hunt more towards the top, to tell you the truth. Like people are kind of sleeping on Pooh's Honey Hunt, given all these new trackless dark rides.
Yeah. Mystic Manor.
Oh God, I forgot about Mystic Manor. Mystic Manor.
Forgot about Mystic Manor?
I'm sorry. That honestly, that attraction just feels so old school that I forget that it's trackless.
Yeah.
But Mystic Manor would definitely be near the top for me. No, honestly, Mystic Manor would probably have to be number one for me, just because of the old school Imagineering factor for me personally.
Yeah.
But in terms of just the Runaway Railway comparison, I was there opening day for Runaway Railway, and Runaway Railway is a great ride. I think I like it more than most people do, but the thing about Runaway Railway is that it's very, I feel like this is an attraction. I'm sorry, this is an animatronic centered attraction in the same way that Runaway Railway is a projection centered attraction. So I
don't
feel
know
like
if I
what?
don't know if you can call Runaway Railway a projection centric attraction just
How the
because
hell is Runaway Railway not a projection centered attraction, Mickey fan? You're high. Can I buy some pot from you because you're high?
no, hear me out on this. Hear me out on this.
Projections are literally the point of that attraction. I
Hear
don't
me out on
understand.
this, because the way that they use the projection is like, I'm going to sound insane, but when do I not? The way that they use the projections, like, it is primarily projections, but those projections feel three-dimensional, if that makes any sense.
But it's still projections. That's the point. It's
still
supposed to feel
projections, but-
three-dimensional, Mickey fan. That's the point. That's the gimmick. That's literally you just named the gimmick of the attraction. What is your point? What are you getting at? How is that not just because it doesn't feel like projections doesn't mean that's not the technology that's at play? Oh dear.
Because they are practical sets, but they use
Oh, you're digging yourself into a hole, man.
They are practical sets.
Dude, give it up.
No.
Oh, this just became a Disney debate. I'm sorry, folks. Oh man. Literally the whole point of the attraction is the projections. That's the whole point.
But they are practical sets and they have multiple animatronics.
No, I understand that they have multiple animatronics, but you can't sit here and tell me that the animatronics in that attraction are at the same scale as Beauty and the Beast.
They're not. They are absolutely not.
So that's what I'm saying, Mickey fan, and you can't tell me that as cool as the projections and Beauty and the Beast are, that they're on the same level as Runaway Railway.
No, they're not.
So, can you get my gist?
I do.
I don't understand why that was so complicated.
This was a real long walk.
All right. Disney Lost Boys and Girls. Same comparing the Little Mermaid attraction. Beauty and the Beast is clearly the E-ticket, and Little Mermaid is D. Yeah, Little Mermaid. I think I like Little Mermaid better than I like. Oh God, what was the other one we were comparing it to, Mickey fan? I'm sorry.
Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen. Yeah. I think just in terms of just the actual Little Mermaid to me is a little bit underrated in terms of just the effects at play within it. I love the going underwater effect. I love the Ursula animatronic. Yeah, I definitely think for sure it's this is clearly the E-ticket to end all E-tickets when it comes to trackless rides.
Oh yeah. So real quick question, Tiki.
Yep.
Would you say that the animatronics here are an evolution of the Little Mermaid animatronics?
Oh, I mean, I think even calling them an evolution is selling them short, honestly. I mean, yeah, they're above and beyond an evolution for me.
Yeah.
All right.
They have a similar look. Of course, the ones in Beauty and the Beast are far and beyond better, but they have a similar look of, you stuck your hand into the movie and pulled them out.
No, for sure. All right. So Chase, he's saying, I don't know how I feel about the book report style of this attraction. The pacing in the middle is also slow. Chase, I agree that the pacing in the middle is slow, but I feel like Mickey fan gave a really good argument for why something there is important to be slow. I gotta say I disagree with the book report quality, because I
It's
feel
not.
like this is more moments than book report. Like if you want a book report, I would look at something like, like
Pinocchio.
the Monsters Inc. ride, or even the Little Mermaid. I'm trying to think of more current examples of a book report dark ride, but no, I don't. I mean, yeah, it does kind of recap the best elements, but I think it does so in a creative way.
Yeah, I think it's it's a best of, but it's more focused on atmosphere than actually telling the story.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Chase, I'm going to give my ranking here, and I'm going to say number 1, Mystic Manor. Number 2, Beauty and the Beast. Number 3, Rise of the Resistance. Number 4, Runaway Railway. Number 5, Pooh's Honey Hut. Number 6, Ratatouille.
I will add my ranking. Number 1, Beauty and the Beast. Number 2, Mystic Manor. Number 3, Runaway Railway. Number 4, Honey Hunt. Number 5, Ratatouille, and I will reserve Rise for when I actually go on it.
Oh man, you had me excited that you were going to be like, screw Rise of the Resistance, it's overrated.
For all I know, I might feel that way.
All right, Monkey giving you a good argument here, Mickeyfan. You go to the station by literally walking through a projection.
And it's a practical set.
All right. Okay, so does Beauty and the Beast have the best attractions in a dark ride? What do you mean by attractions? You mean just the best set?
Animatronics?
Yeah, maybe animatronics. Oh, hey, Garrett. Hey there, Garrett. Yeah, I would say unequivocally yes. Beauty and the Beast right now, from what I've seen, and keep in mind there might be some crazy Japanese theme park with like super high tech animatronics that I'm not aware of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say from everything that I have seen, this is the most impressive animatronics that I have seen in an attraction.
Yeah.
All right.
And also the best sets, because oh my gosh. Like,
the sets unequivocally, yeah. I mean the sets just I mean, granted, I think that Rise gives the sets a run for their money. I'll say that much. Yeah, I would actually say the Rise, maybe the sets are a little better.
And let me just go into it right now. Walt Disney World does Beauty and the Beast so freaking dirty.
Oh God! Oh boy! Oh, we're gonna open that can of worms. Yeah, I saw that show one time and I was not impressed. Oh man!
Be Our Guest.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's go through the lineup. I was just thinking of the Beauty and the Beast live on stage, which I think is just horrific. But Be Our Guest is like a great concept and a terrible execution.
Yes.
I have honestly never been into Gaston's, so I can't tell you either way.
Gaston's is charming little snack.
Have you ever been to Enchanted Tales?
I have. It was a waste of time.
Oh, Monkey likes it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about your taste, Monkey.
Oh God, shots fired. He doesn't mean it, Monkey. He's just sassy. Oh God, the trophy heads are clearly ceramic. That's not good. I don't like that. All right.
And then the sing along in Epcot, which. So you want to talk about one of the worst additions in recent memory to any
God. The fact that it's in the Impressions de France building and it is in all likelihood probably going to phase out Impressions de France is what actually kills me about this thing.
So if this were like the Frozen sing-along,
which I think is super underrated.
everyone I know loves the Frozen sing along, so
Well, I don't mean underrated from the point of view of like I know that people who have done it love it, but I'm just saying in terms of like, people who are maybe a little bit jaded towards Frozen,
yeah.
it's still worth. I mean, granted, I don't think it's ever coming back in a post-COVID world, but for its time, it was great.
It was great.
All right.
Um,
Oh, monkey! How dare you? How dare you? That is something to feel shame over, monkey. It really is. I mean,
yeah.
I get that you're way more realistically going to go to LeFou before before this, but still, man. Oh man. All right.
Don't bother with the LeFou sing along. It's not worth it.
I mean, do you know if they're even still running Impressions de France?
I don't, and that scares me.
Oh, that scares me. Oh man. All right. I need to go back to a question from Chase Carroll. Please rank and compare Wizarding World, Galaxy's Edge, and Pandora. All right. So I really like this question. And you know what, Mickeyfan? I'm gonna throw in one other oddball into the mix. Or no, let's throw in a couple others. Let's throw in Cars Land and let's throw in Toy Story Land.
Okay.
Because I feel like these are like the kind of the new renaissance of theme park lands that are just entirely devoted to a single IP and more of a recreation of the location than like it's kind of like breaking the barriers of what we think of as a theme park land, right? So what would you put at the top?
Most of those, yes.
What would you put at the top here?
What would I put at the top?
Yes.
Oh, that's really tough.
I would honestly maybe have to say, man, I mean, I've got to say, I would have to probably put the, it's tough. They're all good. They're all so good in their own ways.
I'm going to put Wizarding World and Pandora as a tie.
For the top. Now, by Wizarding World, do you mean Diagon Alley or do you mean Hogsmeade?
Hogsmeade.
Really? Because I think, okay, here's the thing. I think Hogsmeade, it's interesting. I think Hogsmeade has superior attractions, but I think Diagon Alley is like far and away the superior environment.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Hang on, because I just remembered coming upon Nocturne Alley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have to put Diagon Alley up there.
I mean, they're all so good. I would say Pandora might rank a little bit lower for me than I would say at the top might be. I would say at the top is honestly maybe Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
Just because it's so immersive, the fact that the whole thing is just completely hidden away from the rest of the park. I will say that Diagon Alley sucks on days when it's super crowded, but if you go there on like a light day when there's, when it's not like wall to wall full of people, oh my God, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I would say number 2 out of the stuff that I threw out there would probably be Cars Land.
Really?
Yeah, have you've not been to Disneyland?
I grew up going to Disneyland.
I'm sorry. So you're surprised by my Cars Land being so high?
No, I'm not.
I just think Cars Land is like I honestly think the stretch of the backside entrance into Cars Land via Pacific Wharf is the most immersive environment I've ever been in a theme park. It doesn't feel like a theme park.
That's with the
the arch.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone to me kind of puts Cars Land above and beyond. I will say number 3 for me is probably going to be Pandora.
Okay.
And Pandora is an interesting situation because it has grown on me. I wasn't a big fan of it the first time I went, but what I like about it is that I feel like the first time I went, I was like, there's not really a ton to this beyond just, obviously like the floating mountains and everything and the two rides. But Mickeyfan, the thing that I think is really interesting about Pandora is that it rewards exploration. It rewards diving into the details. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that to me, and the fact that you can have such a radically different daytime and nighttime experience, like the nighttime experience is maybe number one, if I'm being honest. Like,
oh yeah, with all the bioluminescent plants and the
yeah. So Pandora's got to be up there. I would say number 4 would be Galaxy's Edge. I think Galaxy's Edge is honestly kind of like underrated in terms of the actual execution of the environment. Because, yeah, it didn't deliver every single thing that we were promised, but what Disney Concept does from pitch to actual execution. I still think Galaxy's Edge is a super immersive environment and just easy to get lost in and easy to just kind of like explore and really just kind of and I love the storytelling in Galaxy's Edge. I really appreciate the fact that Galaxy's Edge isn't just a regurgitation of a familiar planet.
Yeah. And like this is I get looked at like I'm a crazy person every time I make this comparison. But I've always, ever since I first experienced it, I've always said Galaxy's Edge feels like a World Showcase pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
It just
I totally get what you mean. I honestly do. All right. I am going to say my dark horse here that I would rank honestly above Hogsmeade would be Toy Story Land.
Why?
I love Toy Story Land, man.
Toy Story Land is perfectly fun, but like when we are talking about Hogsmeade and Galaxy's Edge and Pandora and all those, like there's like a mile difference in quality for me between those.
I just love scale gags, man. What can I say? I'm an easy person to please, and I've had some really positive experiences inside Toy Story Land. Toy Story Land was like a central point of my solo trip, so maybe it's just me being nostalgic. But I don't know. I think Sleeky Dog Dash is like a perfect family coaster, just in terms of the layout. And I honestly love the way that I think that Midway Mania in Hollywood Studios blows California Adventure out of the water just by the queue existing, and the exit walkway to me from Midway Mania is just unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with Hogsmeade, and my issue with Hogsmeade is that it just, I don't know, it just kind of feels like everything is kind of like the attractions are almost kind of off to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't really make sense. I'm more familiar with the actual environment of Hogsmeade when it comes to Hollywood, and Hollywood does not have Hagrid's.
Okay.
So I have to remember that Hagrid's exists. And on that level, very clearly, it ranks above Toy Story Land. But I would honestly rank Toy Story Land above the Hollywood version of Hogsmeade. I would go that far.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. But yeah, I mean, just for the sheer existence of Hagrid's. All right. Anyways, getting caught up here. The Superstar Limo AAs didn't impress you? No. Oh, God. Garrett was forced to be a knight in Enchanted Tales.
I'm sorry.
Let's see.
The LeFou sing-along retcons a near-perfect animated movie. No, it doesn't. It retcons a perfect animated movie.
God. Oh, boy.
I make no qualms when I say I think that Beauty and the Beast is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Pandora may be the most accessible to those not familiar with the source material. I would honestly agree with that.
Yeah.
Monkey. They all pale in comparison to Chester and Hester's Dinorama. Oh god. All right. What is the best attraction in Orlando? Hagrid's. Hagrid's. Like, honestly, without question, easily Hagrid's.
When you can get on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I waited in line for like an hour, and that felt like a fast pass to me. So, what are you gonna do? Hagrid's, man. I mean, I know it's impossible to get on, but I mean, to me, that ride is just it's like I called Slinky Dog Dash a perfect family coaster, but I truly believe that anyone can ride Hagrid's and have a fun time with it. And yeah, Galaxy's Edge. I mean, honestly, I rank Galaxy's Edge pretty high. There's a lot of detractors of Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge came at a time where it was just kind of the perfect scapegoat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. How Mrs. Potts is a mom. Oh God. Yes, indeed, Monkey. Monkey and I have this running joke about the line delivery of Hagrid at the end of Motorbike Adventure, where he sees the unicorn and he's like, and look, she's a mom. Oh God. Rise is more immersive than Hagrid's. I mean, arguably. The thing that I find immersive about Hagrid's isn't necessarily the environment, but I mean those ride vehicles actually feeling like motorcycles, the fact that it literally like takes place in a forest that they grew like by hand. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, like, yeah, Rise is immersive from like the point of view of the sets, but like to me, Hagrid's is immersive on another level just in terms of the actual ride. That makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And Rise has better AAs. What AAs specifically are you referring to? The Kylo AAs, maybe. Sorry, Mickeyfan.
I mean, I don't Kylos.
I mean, I don't know. I think that the.
I mean, you're I think that you're talking about the difference between what's basically a human versus a magical creature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that you can compare those, because a human has specific body movements that like are visibly recognizable, and a magical creature, you can kind of cut corners and make up less than natural movement.
Sure. Disney versus Universal. Disney. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love Universal. I do. But I don't think Universal warrants more than 2 days on any particular trip, and I could just get lost in Disney World.
Universal is great, but like when it comes to atmosphere, when it comes to feeling, when it comes to all that, like it is without a doubt Disney all the way.
Mm-hmm. All right, I love this from Monkey. I say we switch the Hagrid and Finn AAs for shenanigans' sake. Stormtroopers fire at you. There's no need for that. God. Oh God! All right.
I want this heist movie now. A whole bunch of theme park nerds.
Doing what exactly?
Going in, trying to steal the animatronics from certain rides and switch them as some sort of elaborate prank. It would be the most niche movie in existence. But oh my god, it would be hilarious.
Oh god. Okay. Anyways, Chase, we got to get going because this has been running for over an hour, and we were just meant to talk about Beauty and the Beast, and I've got another podcast I need to do. But I will. If you have one or two more questions, that's cool. We can stick around for another like 10, 15 minutes. So Hagrid's or Beauty and the Beast. I mean, I honestly think that it's kind of comparing apples and oranges because Hagrid's is one of the best roller coasters on the planet, and Beauty and the Beast looks to be one of the best dark rides on the planet.
Yeah, attraction is such a broad term.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get into the nitty gritty, a parade is an attraction, a show is an attraction, a ride is an attraction, a roller coaster.
Parade and shows, no.
You don't count parades and shows as attractions.
No, that's entertainment. Entertainment's a different thing altogether.
It's semantics.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It is semantics, but
at that point, it's just semantics.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, so let's see. Replace the Kong animatronic with the Drew Carey animatronic. Ooh. Okay, Tron, no. I maybe I don't know about Tron because I haven't actually been on it. Cosmic Rewind, absolutely, I think could beat Hagrid's. Absolutely, no question.
If they do it right.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to bring some competition to Hagrid's for sure. Tron, I gotta say, I think just based on the ride-through I've seen of Shanghai, I think Hagrid's impresses me a little bit more. But honestly, the thing that bothers me about Tron isn't so much the actual attraction. It's more so the fact that it bothers me that it's going to be right next to Space Mountain. Considering the attraction pretty much from a structural point of view is like a next generation Space Mountain in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would say I would definitely put more money on Cosmic Rewind being the Hagrid's killer, especially because Cosmic Rewind isn't a clone. I mean, obviously, I don't think a big majority of people who would be riding Tron at Magic Kingdom will have been to Shanghai. But just the fact of the matter is that it's not an entirely original attraction, and Cosmic Rewind is. And Cosmic Rewind is also going to have first of its kind technology as well. That's a big plus.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Mickeyfan, any final thoughts here? Because we kind of and Chase, I very much appreciate your feedback, and I'm always happy to answer questions. I just it is fun. It is fun. So it's just kind of getting a little late on my end, and I do have another podcast to record tonight. So what? Are you serious? That can't be real.
Look at those eyes, Tiki. Do those look
that can't be real. Garrett, I don't believe you.
Okay, hang on. This last question from Chase.
Okay.
If the Tiana animatronics are like the Bella animatronics, I would be overjoyed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Although I am looking more forward to seeing what they do with Facilier more than anything else.
If Facilier even joins.
Okay, if Mickeyfan, I swear to God, everyone and their mother has been saying this in the armchair Imagineering community. If they don't have the whole "Are you ready?" thing on the lift hill, it's just that'll be like the most wasted opportunity in the history of Disney parks.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
It'll be almost as big of a wasted opportunity as not having a giant Ursula at the end of The Little Mermaid was. All right.
Yeah.
But we got to get going here, folks. Thanks a lot to Chase for all the cool questions. Garrett, can't wait to see you on the other side of this COVID thing when it's all over. Monkey, always fun, always fun. Disney Lost Boys and Girls, nice to see ya. Awesome comments, guys. And Mickeyfan, I was sitting here going through the whole ride just thinking, like, no one's commenting. This is a really good discussion. So shame on you. Shame on you. All right. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we will see y'all later. Have a good night.